Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today, because what we are about to talk about is one of those quiet moments that carries real emotional weight, a moment that reminds us why compassion, service, and consistency still matter in a world that often feels overwhelmed by noise. And it begins with a simple social media repost that spoke volumes when Invictus Games Team Ukraine shared a video originally posted by Meghan'S Sussex on Instagram showing Prince Harry's collection of Ukrainian military chevrons and badges gifted to him by Ukrainian veterans during the Invictus Games in Vancouver. And this was not a casual repost or a polite gesture made for visibility. It was a public acknowledgement of genuine respect and gratitude. Because for Ukrainian service members, giving a chevron or unit badge is deeply personal. It represents brotherhood, trust, and recognition earned through shared understanding of sacrifice. And the decision by Team Ukraine to amplify Meghan's post sent a clear and powerful message that Harry and Meghan's support is not just seen, but deeply felt by those living with the realities of war. And this moment carried even greater emotional weight because Team Ukraine also reposted a video of Prince Harry's visit to Ukraine last year, where he met wounded veterans, listened to their stories, and stood alongside them, not as a distant public figure, but as someone who understands military life through lived experience. And this context matters because Prince Harry's connection to Ukraine is not symbolic or performative. It is rooted in service, empathy, and consistency. And that is why the Invictus Games themselves are central to the story, because Invictus was founded by Harry in 2014 after he witnessed firsthand how sport could help wounded and injured service members rebuild confidence, purpose, and identity after trauma. And over the years, Invictus has grown into far more than an athletic competition. It has become a global movement centered on recovery, resilience, and respect. And for Ukraine, a nation enduring the devastating impact of ongoing war, the Invictus platform carries extraordinary meaning, offering visibility, dignity, and hope to veterans whose lives have been permanently altered. Which is why Ukraine's participation in the 2025 Invictus Games in Vancouver and Whistler was historic and emotionally charged, as they sent their largest team ever, with 35 competitors who had survived frontline combat injuries, including amputations and severe trauma. And despite everything they carried physically and emotionally, they competed with extraordinary determination, winning 16 medals and earning admiration across the entire Games community. And throughout the event, Prince Harry was visibly present with the Ukrainian team, offering encouragement, sharing moments of quiet conversation, and publicly honoring them, including wearing a Ukrainian brigade chevron on his jacket during medal ceremonies, a deliberate act of solidarity that spoke louder than any speech ever could. And these were the same chevrons later seen in Meghan's Instagram story, carefully displayed in Harry's space, not as souvenirs, but as symbols of real human connection. And when Meghan chose to share that moment publicly, she was not simply expressing pride in her husband. She was amplifying the stories and sacrifices of Ukrainian veterans to a global audience, ensuring that their courage and resilience were seen and acknowledged beyond the confines of a sporting event. And Meghan's role in this narrative is vital because she consistently uses her platform to humanize causes, centering people rather than politics, and giving emotional context to moments that might otherwise pass unnoticed. And the fact that Team Ukraine reposted her story confirmed that her amplification is not viewed as performative, but as sincere and supportive. And this authenticity is reinforced by Prince Harry's actions beyond Invictus, because his support for Ukraine has extended directly into the country itself, including a surprise visit to Lviv, where he met wounded veterans at the Superhuman Center, a rehabilitation facility providing prosthetics and psychological care. And during that visit, Harry did not deliver grand speeches. He listened. He engaged, and he showed respect to individuals navigating life after catastrophic injury, bringing international attention to the importance of long-term rehabilitation rather than fleeting sympathy. And this consistent presence laid the foundation for a relationship built on trust, respect, and genuine solidarity.
Prince Harry's commitment to Ukraine did not end with a single visit or symbolic gesture, because he later returned again, this time visiting Kyiv, where he met with veterans, honored fallen soldiers, and engaged in discussions about expanding rehabilitation and recovery through adaptive sport. And Ukrainian leaders publicly acknowledged his efforts, even suggesting that Ukraine could one day host the Invictus Games, which would stand as a powerful testament to resilience, rebuilding, and international solidarity. And none of these moments occurred in isolation or for short-term attention, because what stands out most clearly is the consistency of Harry's involvement and Meghan's amplification. And this is why the repost by Invictus Games Team Ukraine matters so deeply, because official military and veteran communities do not casually endorse individuals, especially during wartime. Their respect is earned through action, trust, and sustained commitment. And when Team Ukraine chose to repost Meghan's story and Harry's past visit, they were making a statement without words that they value the Sussex's presence and trust their intentions. And for viewers watching the story unfold online, it serves as a reminder of what authentic allyship actually looks like. It is not loud declarations followed by silence. It is continued engagement, mutual respect, and the willingness to stand with people even when attention shifts elsewhere. And Prince Harry's relationship with Ukrainian veterans reflects exactly that, a bond built on shared understanding of service, sacrifice, and the lifelong impact of conflict. And Meghan's role in documenting and sharing these moments ensures that those stories reach a global audience that might otherwise move on too quickly. And emotionally, this resonates because it cuts through widespread cynicism surrounding public figures at a time when many people question motives. Here, we see actions being validated by the very individuals they are meant to support. And that validation carries enormous weight. Because imagine being a Ukrainian veteran who lost limbs defending your country, then seeing someone like Prince Harry not only attend an event, but keep your unit's chevron with honor, display it with care, and allow his wife to share that story with the world. That recognition restores dignity, and when Team Ukraine reposted Meghan's story, they returned that respect publicly, creating a full-circle moment of solidarity and shared humanity. And this is why the story deserves attention, not because of titles or royal drama, but because it shows how compassion, backed by action, can transcend borders, politics, and headlines. And as this moment circulates across social media platforms, it reinforces a simple but powerful truth that Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex have consistently embodied, that support for veterans and for Ukraine is not a trend or a temporary cause. It is a long-term commitment rooted in empathy and responsibility. And when that commitment is acknowledged by those who know the cost of war firsthand, it becomes far more meaningful than any social media post. It becomes tangible impact. And for audiences engaging with this story, it serves as a reminder that real change often begins with listening, respect, and the courage to stand with people when it truly counts. And that is exactly what this moment between Invictus Games Team Ukraine, Prince Harry, and Meghan Sussex represents: a shared recognition of humanity, resilience, and hope. And as the world continues to watch Ukraine's struggle and strength, moments like this affirm that solidarity is not measured by distance or politics, but by presence and consistency. And in choosing to stand with Ukrainian veterans, Prince Harry has shown that service does not end when the uniform comes off. It evolves into advocacy, while Meghan's amplification ensures those stories are not forgotten. And together, they demonstrate that compassion, paired with action, can leave a lasting imprint far beyond headlines, medals, or social media timelines, reminding us all that dignity, respect, and shared humanity remain the most powerful forces in times of conflict.